Welcome to this week's very gloomy transport vlog, thanks to the time change and the basic general ennui of life these days. So, it's lockdown 2.0, second wave of coronavirus is hitting most of Europe, some of the world. What does that mean for transport, in particular the passenger car market, which we have covered before in other videos, but here's a bit of an update. So, as you know, this year all car makers have to meet EU CO2 emission standard targets, which will kick in at the end of the year, and then they'll start with the next raft of 2025, 2030 targets. To meet those targets, they have to make sure that a certain percentage of their fleet is lower emissions than it used to be. And at the moment, the best way to do that is to sell electric cars, plug-in hybrids, so on and so forth. But unfortunately, because of the way that car makers have strategized their way to meeting these targets, they basically wanted to flood the market with electric cars, plug-in hybrids this year, because that means that the baseline for the next raft of targets will not be as low, which means that they won't have to meet such a strict target in the future, if you're keeping up with me here. Only problem with that is that people aren't buying cars at the moment in the volumes that they are expected to because of the coronavirus. And because of the new measures that are in place now and the unpredictability of where this pandemic is going, car makers are not sure whether or not they're going to meet those targets in the end, which will mean hefty fines. Jaguar Land Rover was the first one to really explicitly say that it won't be meeting the target and has put aside about 100 million euros to pay those fines. For Jaguar Land Rover, that's not actually that big a hit, because you can make the argument that by not investing in the technology needed to build electric 4x4s, it probably will break even to a certain extent. And Jaguar Land Rover also enjoys a bunch of derogations and exemptions under the rules. It's a whole thing. Other car makers as well that are not that confident about their ability to hit these targets. Volkswagen is not as bullish as it used to be. Fiat Chrysler entered into a pooling agreement with Tesla quite a long time ago now because it knew it wouldn't reach it itself. These pooling agreements basically mean that those two car makers will pool their emissions data together, because Tesla doesn't produce any cars that make tailpipe emissions. That will bring FCA's number down. They'll probably hit the target. And it's not the only one to do it. It was the first one to do it. The most recent is Ford has teamed up with Volvo to do the same kind of number crunching and creative accountancy. And more will probably have to follow in its footsteps, because those targets simply won't be met. For one reason or another, economic circumstances, the fact that you basically can't go outside to buy a car, there you have it. It's a difficult situation. Thank you for watching. Again, a bit of a gloomier one this week. Hopefully next week there will be something more catchy and whimsical to bring to your inboxes on a Tuesday morning. Thank you for reading the newsletter. Subscribe, watch the video, rewatch the video, send it to your friends, put it as your home screen, so on and so forth. Thank you very much. Keep safe and see you next time. Ciao for now.